It's hardware, man. There's no plan here.
So we spend a lot of time talking about cats. We both have a couple of great cats. And one of the things that we talked about a lot is this behavior that cats have. And Norm, my cat, is famous for it, that he'll be washing himself. But they'll do this thing where they'll lick and they'll go.
Yeah. They just become
just
catatonic in the middle
moment of just nothingness.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's zen or just.
I have seen. We had a lot of cats when I was growing up, and I've seen that time and time again. They'll sit there and they'll lick a paw and wash their face. They'll lick a paw and wash their face. They'll lick a paw and wash their face, and then the tongue hanging out, all pink. Christ knows where they went.
And we see lots of people all the time at the hardware store.
Yeah, I loved it when you started that, because every time we see somebody that's like, Italians call them mezza mort, people that are half dead, we do this. What was he like? It is too.
Speaking of cats, tell me about Lola, because it's a pretty interesting story how you got Lola.
That's also a city people. So I'm whining about wanting a cat, and my wife doesn't want any pets because anything that disrupts that woman's life is just an ungodly, horrible phenomenon. And in any case, my son wants the cat, I want the cat. So at some point, I'm whining and moaning to June. Yeah,
June?
Henry and June.
Yes, June.
And June's real crazy, but she's a Leo, so she's a cat in her heart of hearts. And she just, and this, I'll give her credit for this, for a very sadistic human being. She just grabs me and says, come, we're going to the computer. We go to the computer, she looks up 5 different places to get a cat, and she writes them all down. She says, here, get a cat. And I take this as a fiat from heaven, okay, gotta get a cat. So I go to the shelter, and there's all these ancient half-dead cats, they're 105, they're 80, they're 75 years old, they're all asleep and half-dead and mangy looking, and there's one tiny little cage, and in it is a little bitty cat, and she looked, younger, like she might have some years in her. So I went up to the cage, and she backed way off, and I said, oh, Christ, a scaredy cat. I don't want a scaredy cat. So I tapped on the cage and said, hi, and she raced right up to the front of the cage, and I said, I'm taking you home. So I consulted the powers that be, and they said, you have to bring the whole family down. This is an adoption, don't you understand? And I went,
they got to run your credit report.
Yeah, they have to go through the whole goddamn thing. Does your wife like it? So I brought my son.
Drop your drawers. Let's see it.
I brought my son, but my wife wouldn't come. So, they want to get rid of the cat. So we got the cat, and she was really very sweet. But she was insanely in love with boxes, just totally in love with boxes. So there was a box. There was a tiny little box top, probably about this size, with a little edge on it, about like this. And I come into the living room, and it was on the dining room table. I come into the dining room, it's on the dining room table, and the cat is sitting in the box, in the little box, all prim and proper. This is mine. This is really nice. Damnedest thing with those creatures in boxes.
Yeah, so what did you discovered something about Lola about her past?
Oh, yeah. So I get a wad of paperwork when I get the cat. This is the paperwork, okay. I take the wad of paperwork home, and I'm not a reader, it's a cat. Feed her, pet her, love her, be sweet to her. But my wife starts reading it, and she says, God damn, John, this cat's from Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut. How the hell did the cat get from Connecticut? So there were these people, strange cat people that had 5 cats, and they drove these cats across the whole United States to Seattle. Christ knows why. And they get an apartment, and they can't have any cats. So they ditch Lola in the shelter. How the hell she turns up with me is just beyond belief. She's my cat from Connecticut.
Yeah.
Truly strange.
Well, we are cat people, but unfortunately for us, the hardware store is dog friendly.
Oh.
Tell me about the dogs.
If only, you know, there's that book, 50 Ways to Walk Your Dog. It's a cookbook.
Yeah. Well,
And I gotta tell you, Carl, I'm sure dog lovers are wonderful, nice, deliriously sweet people, and they mean the best, but, you know, they have such unseemly habits. Sniffing assholes. Who'd want a creature that has to sniff assholes? Pick up their shit. I've seen so many beautiful women jogging with the dog and a bag of shit. I thought they ought to actually keep it and jog without the dog so nobody would attack them, because who wants to attack a woman with a bag of shit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just they're out there. Cats are soft and beautiful and silent, and they go do their business.
Yeah.
And now, kitty litter is so good. There's no smells left over or anything. It's just such a different beast, and they're loud.
They shit in a box.
You gotta control them. You gotta take them outside. You gotta have them on a leash. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Who the hell wants one of those things?
Yeah. Seems like the dog people, at least they come into, they express their self-righteousness.
Oh yeah, you gotta love dogs.
You gotta love dogs.
At one point,
You gotta let the dog sniff your ass.
Yeah.
Or
Whatever.
The little Skipper Key Shiba. Did you know that dog, little black dog?
Oh, yeah.
Bites everyone.
Yeah.
And that's okay,
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, and then they worship each other's dog. They come in. Oh, Christ knows if there's a puppy, it's a log jam. You know, they're petting them and blessing them and loving them. The chocolate labs everywhere.
Yeah. Well, they said that the core discovery, even when they had a bounty of food, salmon from the native people, elk, deer, they preferred dog.
They ate dog?
They ate dog. So
Lewis and Clark ate dog?
they ate dog, and they preferred it.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they say anyway. So
We gotta get a recipe. He says, that's Winnie. I said, his name isn't Winnie. It's Winston. They're all trying to make him out to be a pussy cat. The guy cracked up. A pussy